So this afternoon, I'm going to be going pike lure fishing. I've been hearing little stories recently of pike coming out a few stretches up on the canal from here. And obviously, I want to catch one. So I'm going to jump on the lure fishing for them. In my bag here, I've got a big box of lures. They're all pretty big lures, to be honest. You know, this time of year, you kind of want to be using some bigger lures and not the smaller ones for pike. So I've got a box of big lures. Obviously, I've got my net and my rod. I've also bought some scales, just in case I catch one, because I want to weigh it, obviously. Anyway, I'm going to stroll about 3 stretches down that way to a small marina on the canal that I haven't fished since last year, and I know that there's some nice pike in there. I'll fish that for a little while and then I'll make my way back down here over the next few hours. So let's jump right into it. Okay then, so I've now arrived at the marina. Just behind me here, and it's so nice to lay eyes on. I haven't been here in about 6 months, so now, yeah, this is where I'll be fishing for half an hour or so. In fact, I'd say it's been longer than 6 months. It's been about a year. I came here in just January this year, and that was the last time I came here. So yeah, kind of nice to be back, and I'm gonna fish this place for half an hour maybe, because I know there's some good pike in here. This is the lure I'm gonna be starting off with. It's a pretty nice sized chunky one. I've got a nice jig head on there. Very sharp, and this fish should probably catch me a pike, so I'm just going to get casting out and see what comes of the session. This lure's swimming incredible in the water. It's very bright and the sun's properly shining on it as well, so it stands out a lot, and you can probably just see it there swimming across the top. It's definitely a good lure, definitely something a pike could absolutely smash. The first few casts I've had, I've just been bringing it in at a pretty fast pace, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cast it as far as I can to the other side over there, and I'm just going to bring it in slowly, sort of on the bottom, to try and get a pike's attention. And kind of what I mean by that is just getting a good cast like that, and I'll let it sink now, and I'll start retrieving it at sort of this pace, kind of like I'm jigging worms or something like that. In fact, I could jerk the rod tip a little bit as well, because that'll create some motion on the lure. But yeah, hopefully this little method I'm doing will work. Now, it all of a sudden became very, very sunny. When I left the house, it was freezing cold, hence why I've got my jacket on. But the sun's come out now. Blue skies, beaming sun on a cold November's day. You can't beat that. I've definitely chosen a nice time to come fishing, that's for sure. All I've got to do now is land a nice pike, and that'll make the session 20 times better. I've hooked into my first thing. I don't know what this thing is. It's some form of snag though. And I don't want to lose this lure, so I'm going to be very careful with it. I mean, can you see all them bubbles coming up there? It must be some big branch on the bottom or something. Oh, here we go, I'm loose. And the lure is still on, perfect. You know what, I'm pretty sure the last time I fished this, it was when the canal was completely iced over, and it made it extremely hard to fish. So I think I ended up going somewhere else in that video, but that would have been the last time I tried to fish this place, quite a while back. I'm contemplating leaving the marina shortly. I've been here for half an hour now, and nothing has come from it. I think this marina's best on a freezing cold day, and today's not that. Although it's a bit nippy, it ain't freezing cold, that's for sure. So I'm going to pack it in here, and I'm just going to lure fish all the way back down to where I started, which will take me about 2 hours, I'd say. That's if I stop at every little nook and cranny on the canal, which I probably will. So I'll have about 5 more casts out in the marina just to push my luck a little bit more, but chances are nothing will come out at this point. So I'll move along down the canal. I've been moving along for a little bit. The marina's all the way up there now, and I've been walking with the lure in the margin. And on the way down, I saw a really small school of really tiny fish. I tried to capture some footage of them, but I don't know how good it is, because the canal's really murky, as a barge came past when I tried to film them. But I'm going to be casting around these boats here for a bit, because I know pike love to hide underneath and around boats, and awesome structure in general. And there's lots of boats on the other side of this stretch, so I'm going to be testing it out whilst I'm up here. Here's a funky looking boat that looks absolutely dormant. Oh crap, I hit it. Whoops. It's a very, very derelict boat that is. Like, look at all the moss going on the outside of it. That's actually really cool. I'd love to go inside that, but I bet it'd be an absolute tip in there, so I wouldn't want to go inside. But what I will do is fish around it, because there could be a pike underneath it for all I know. I've reached the end of this stretch now, and if some of you guys have been watching my channel forever, you'll recognise this place. I fished this every day when I first got into fishing anyway. I'd just come pole fishing here every day, even if it was just for 20 minutes. I loved it so much. And the fishing was surprisingly good here. There was always some big perch down here. In fact, I caught my first ever personal best perch down here, which I think at the time was dot on a pound, and I was absolutely chuffed with that catch. In fact, I think I was that happy with it, I applied for it to be in the Angling Times magazine, and I got in surprisingly, and that made my day, that did. But looking back, it was such a small perch. But you know what, it made me happy. There was also some humongous bream down this bit here. Now I don't like catching bream, but I like catching bream when they're massive, so that was quite nice. And then there was just everything down here, and it was just nice. Until one day the fishing just died off, to be honest with you, and you couldn't catch anything from here. But I've got some good memories of fishing down by this bridge. I'm on the next stretch now, and I think this is where I'll more than likely catch a pike. From here onwards, especially 2 stretches down that way, there's quite a few pike there. But don't get me wrong, the chances of catching them are low because there's not a very high population of pike in this canal at all. But there is some, and the ones that are in here are pretty big. I've left that section now and I'm on the next. This one I can't imagine there being any pike, although I could always get surprised. But this section is more so chub and silverfish, so like roach and rudd and all that, as far as I know anyway. But this time of year, some pike might have moved into the stretch, but I doubt it because there's not any structure in the water. There is up this end, but if you'll see as I go down there, it's just a straight section of canal with no structure in the water for the pike to hide around in, so there's a very low chance there'll be any there. You can kind of see what I mean down here about this stretch not having much structure to it. There's just a field the opposite side of it and a bit of a concrete wall going on, which is why I think there's not many pike here, if there is any at all. But I'll still fish it for a little while, just in case. I'm now on the final stretch I'll be fishing today, and this is the most promising one, I'll be honest with you. This is the one where I'll probably end up catching a pike, and this is the one where people have caught pike within the last month. Some pretty decent sized ones as well. So I'll spend about an hour on this bit, just fishing out the entire stretch. On this stretch I've hooked into one before, and it was in the margin. I was just walking along like this, and one came out of absolutely nowhere, but I didn't set the hook very well, and it kind of just slipped out his mouth. And I lost that pike, which I was gutted about, because it's the only one I've ever hooked into on my local canal. Very rare moment, to say the least. But hopefully today I can recreate that moment and actually land the fish instead of losing it. There's some good looking snags right ahead, a bunch of logs that have fell in the water over time. And I've just done the worst cast known to mankind. Let me retake that. And here we go, take 2 of the cast, which should definitely, that was a lot better actually, that was. I'll let it sink a little and I'll just retrieve it. Nice and slow, or fast, I don't know. I'll just go at whatever pace feels necessary, because pike are known to just smash lures in general anyway, so really you can just go whatever pace you want. I'd love if one just come out the margin right now, bam, smash my lure. That'd be very ideal, to be honest. I came pike lure fishing about 3 weeks back now, and I've done a video on it, and in that video I think I said, if I don't catch in this video, I'm not going to come lure fishing for pike on this canal for a good while. But yet here I am again, because I've heard more reports of catches, so I want to catch one. But I think I do definitely need to try different canals for pike, because this one isn't the best, as I've mentioned a few times in this video. I also want to try out some lakes and some ponds that I've got a pike in, and there's quite a few places that I've got pike in near me, so I'll have to check them out. But for now, I'm going to give it another hour on the canal in hope of landing one on my local. I tell you what, there's a lot of ducks out on the canal today. There's a pair right there, but up there earlier on, loads of them were there. There was about 50 ducks. Probably not 50, that was an exaggeration, but there was at least 20 ducks, and they've just been dotted around all over the canal. It's quite nice to see. A lot of kingfishers have been out today as well. On the way up to the marina earlier, I tried to take a photo of one, but they're too fast to take photos of on phones, and I haven't got my big camera with me, so I couldn't get a good shot of it. But I've seen about 8 kingfishers today, which is really nice. I'm going to give it a shot underneath the bridge for the pike for a little minute now. I don't think there'd be any under here, because it's only like 2 meters deep at most, and it's very clear, and I would see a pike if it was here right now. So it'd shock me if I randomly hooked into one. Yeah, look, you can even see my lure. That's how clear it is under here. I'm on the last little bits now. There's not much stretch left to cover until I'm back where I started, which is literally right there. But believe it or not, I spent about 40 minutes on that last stretch and caught absolute jack. Oh, here we go. Okay, no. The snags are getting my hopes up again. They come so sudden, as if it was a bite, that's the thing. But then you soon realise, a second after fighting with it, that it ain't a fish. This is obviously like a branch or something, because I can feel it moving. Wait a second, that's a fish. Is it? It's a fish. No, it isn't. What the hell? Why is it vibrating as if it's a fish? That really got my hopes up then for some reason. I got it halfway up and I could feel it fighting, like tugging away. Oh my God. But it is just a branch after all. I'm back at the beginning now, so I'll probably give it 5 more minutes at this place and then I'll head home. I've been out all afternoon though. It's currently 3:30 in the afternoon, and I think I came down just before 12, so yeah, I've been here quite a while. Let's have one last big cast all the way down there in the margin, where the pike most likely will be. And I'll just bring it in quite slowly because I want to drag it out, because I do fancy catching a pike, but it doesn't look like I'm going to at this point. I'm near enough right by my feet now. Yeah, I can see the lure. And here we are. That was the last cast of the session. Sadly, I've blanked. No, that's that for me today. You might be wondering why I didn't change my lure. Well, it's because I thought this one swam absolutely amazingly. I actually forgot I owned this lure. I got it about a year ago from the shop, and yeah, used it for the first time I think today. Even though I've got a big box of lures in my backpack, and I didn't have to put them scales in there to use, obviously, because I blanked. But you know what, it's been a nice afternoon out. I've been up to some places I haven't been to in a long time, and it's just been nice in general. So I'm glad I came out and tried to fish for the pike today. But yeah, I'm sorry you guys didn't get to see a fish. I'm kind of gutted about it as well. But that's all I've got for you today. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss a video in the future. Become a member of the channel to get special perks to the channel and get exclusive videos every once in a while. The link for that's in the description. And follow my Instagram, wilf_fishing, so you can check out some behind the scenes stuff on there. But for now everyone, I'll see you all back here in the next video. Peace for now.